Hey, how you doing? My name's Tyler. I'm a student, I guess you could say, of the mastery program at Enriched. I found out about the program just before December last year, just hearing a webinar that Kevin did, and he talked about DSCs, deferred sales charge that you get on your mutual funds. And I looked at my financial statements and I was blown away. There was DSCs on every single vehicle I had. And that was enough for me to buy into the course and go through the material and get different themes every month on how to better myself financially. And as I started getting into the material and learning, I started to realize and see how much financial language I did not know. And you can't acknowledge what you don't know. And once I knew, I could acknowledge it. As soon as I seen the DSCs on all my funds and understood what that meant for the long term and the short term, I ceased to continue investing in those funds within the month. And then I sought out a financial advisor that was certified by the Financial Advisement Board, certified, and sat on the board and asked all the right questions in regards to what Enriched teaches you about investment strategies, fees, because Canada, as I learned through their program, has the worst financial rating possible, which also blew my mind. It gave me the tools to ask the right questions to an advisor and make sure I got the right one who could maximize my return and not kill me in fees. I also got reference to read some books, and I hate reading. I want to be very clear about this. I hate reading. And Rich Dad Poor Dad was a book that Kevin suggested. So I thought that's a really cool title. I'll have a look at it. And I read the back and I was very intrigued. So I started to read the book and I couldn't put it down. I literally finished that book in a week and a half, and I would just take 3 hours a night after work and supper and all that to sit down and read and take notes, and I took a lot of notes. And I was just blown away by the psychology of the rich thinking versus the poor thinking, the collective mindset that we have regarding the environment in which we're brought up. And that really made me think about how I interpreted and looked at everything in terms of finances. I'm not out of debt completely, not at all. I don't want to come off like I figured it out, because I haven't. But I do have a plan that I didn't have before. We're going to be out of debt by the end of this year, and then next year we are going to go heavy into investment strategies. And another thing that I learned in the Enriched program that was very important to me was the asset allocation split up. So you have 25% in US, 25% in Canadian, 25% in bond, and 25% in international. So you could diversify your portfolio in all different areas. And of course, the SP 500 funds, where all the companies are looped in together. So if you have a little bit of a decline in one company, the other companies within that fund keep you level or lift you up higher. So we're gonna focus on an automatic setup into that. And the other thing the program teaches you in regards to a setup is you get a high interest savings account established. Then you have an automatic withdrawal every month of your funds that you want to put into that account, whether it's $150 a month, $250 a month, whatever you can do. And you put it into the account, you let it sit there. And then once every couple months, or whatever you want, whatever frequency you want to set it at, you have those funds move from that high interest savings account into those investment allocations, the bond, the international, the US, and the Canadian. And then if you have a little bit extra money on top of that, you can look at the stock market, and you can kind of look at the stocks. Uber just got a IPO, and they're going to be huge. Amazon's expanding huge. This is a beautiful time to take advantage of this stuff, because this ground's never been basically walked on before. And in regards to Enriched, I mean, I've never seen anything out there that gives you the tools that you need to basically get yourself financially set for the next 20 to 30 years. And it does take time. Wealth takes time. It takes you a good 10 to 15 years to build that. But once you build it, you get another 20 or 30 where you can just watch it grow and relax. And once you learn how to make money work for you, you start to make interest instead of pay it. And that's the other thing they teach you. People that learn this stuff, they make money off interest. They don't pay interest. And when you start to figure that out and how much that impacts you, it's crazy. Then you get into credit ratings. And I never knew that having a higher credit balance available increases your credit score. They teach you that too. So I actually increased my credit card limit, not so I had more money at my disposal, but so my credit score went higher. So now my credit score is sitting around almost 800 or 800 and change. It's fantastic. I never had that before. And you cannot obtain wealth without a good credit score. It's impossible. The lower your credit score is, the more they ding you with interest. It's like it's crazy. So it teaches you crazy financial literacy to be able to understand how the money world works. It teaches you not to be afraid. When we sat down with that financial advisor that I spoke of in the beginning of this video, I had my wife with me, and him were having this conversation about asset allocations, high interest savings accounts, automatic withdrawals, set up to diversify portfolios, all this kind of stuff. And I gave him a list of stocks I wanted to put in, and he told me it was the most unique list he'd ever seen. And we left the bank, and my wife said, "Wow, I didn't even understand what you guys were talking about in there. You would think that you've been talking about this for 10 years." And really, like, I just completed the Wealth Mastery course at that point, the textbook material. And I just started, I think I was in month 2 of the actual program. They send you packages every month of different themes they want to cover. And it costs you, I think my credit card gets billed $22 a month. So you look at that as an investment within yourself. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. And I've learned so much. If the program was over now, if I wasn't getting another like 4 or 5 months worth of stuff, I'd be happy. I mean, it's changed it that much where you actually see it. And my wife, she got a link on it too, and I explained some of the stuff to her, and she understands it differently than she used to. But it does take time. It's not like, within 2 weeks you're going to have everything figured out, and it's going to be crazy, and you're going to be rich. It's not like that. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes focus. But if you're willing to do the work and be disciplined and hold the focus, I guarantee you'll be successful. With Kevin and all them other guys over there that touch up with you once in a while through email. I've spoke to a couple people through email. I've spoke to Greg through phone conversations. Fantastic people, absolutely awesome. Gave me their phone numbers in case I ever want to talk and just kind of catch up with them, tell them where I'm at, ask for any advice if I get stuck. And they're Canadian too. It's a Canadian company. It's fantastic. Loved it. I hope you guys continue to grow the program out. I hope you can diversify it even further. I hope you can continue to change many people's lives in Canada and around the world. I mean, it's time for the regular person that spends 30 years making money to let money work for them. Thank you very much, Enriched. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great one. We'll talk later.